This is exactly what they needed, as DeMar DeRozan is proving himself to be the perfect complementary star to De'Aaron Fox in closing these games and helping out the team during the clutch in these situations. And the rest of the roster, other guys are proving to be valuable in different aspects, in different areas. And even a guy like Keegan Murray, who's been struggling with his jump shot for stretches to start off this season, in other aspects that are desperately needed for this Kings team, people are stepping up. And this is a game that screams to be a loss over the course of last season, the last couple years for Sacramento. But these little changes and the addition of DeMar DeRozan has really allowed the Kings to come out and get these types of W's against these lower tier teams. So we're going to break down the Kings win against the Atlanta Hawks and why there are so many positive takeaways to take from this game. So lots of stuff to break down in this video. And folks, I appreciate all the really nice comments you guys have been leaving on the recent vids. It means the world to me. And, the community we're building. I keep bringing up this graph, but 84% still aren't subscribed. So, we're getting new viewers. People are subscribing, so the number's kind of staying around that mark. But, I mean, if you guys are enjoying the Daily Kings content and how the Kings season's been going, because it was a rough start, but things are back on track here right now. Make sure you guys stay along for the ride and hit that subscribe button. But let's dive into it, because the Kings just had a fun game against the Atlanta Hawks. Again, it wasn't a crushing, dominant victory. There were moments where, you get a little tense watching the screen and stuff, but basically the Kings from start to finish were able to hold this out against the Atlanta Hawks, and just a solid win, because the Hawks have actually been pretty decent this year. They've been brutal, at least on the interior defense and that sort of end, but basically have had some guys step up, and guys like Garrison Matthews have we saw it tonight, improve this team for the Atlanta Hawks. But really, down the stretch, and was a game changer for this team, it was DeMar DeRozan, who, again, was brought in to be that secondary option for De'Aaron Fox, so teams don't just load up on him, to close out games. And DeMar's ability to just get to the free throw line, I know it's annoying for other teams that are watching and stuff to watch DeMar just kind of get a free throw fest, but it's it's a great when he's on your team and he's getting you those shots down the stretch, because DeMar DeRozan this one had 27 points, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 9 of 16 from the field, and had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block in this game. Just really an awesome all-around performance for DeMar DeRozan in this one, because, again, right, De'Aaron Fox was also great in this. We'll talk about him, but having just a secondary guy when defenses are loaded up on De'Aaron, DeMar can just come out and really take the load off. You need a shot down the stretch, right? Even though it's not going to usually be a 3-point shot, DeMar DeRozan's going to get you. He hit 1 3 in this game, but he's just going to get you a bucket. He can get you those easy shots. I feel like every mid-range jump shot he takes, it's going to be money. So, DeMar is just that guy. He's one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA, and his ability to just get you to the free throw line or get you an easy bucket when it's needed. The other team is slowly going on a run. It feels like your team can't score. DeMar DeRozan kind of gets you out of those ruts, and it's the reason why he's one of the clutchest players in the NBA, and pairing him alongside De'Aaron Fox has been huge for this team, because obviously we know we know how good De'Aaron Fox has been, for the Sacramento Kings team for years now at this point, right? De'Aaron is just the speed, the finish. I don't have to describe De'Aaron Fox as a basketball player now at this point, and again, proving it once again tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. 37 minutes, I had 31 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 11 of 16 from the field, and 4 6 from the 3-point line. And basically, this is what I kind of broke down in the video this morning. The top tier, the upper echelon guys on this roster are just playing phenomenal to start off the season, even in the couple losses the Kings have had, right? The starting 5, the core group, it's the best starting lineup out there in basketball right now. Maybe not talent-wise on paper, but literally in terms of net rating, the Kings have the best starting lineup in the entire NBA to start off this year. I'm not sure if the numbers changed after tonight, but this morning they did. When I checked and saw it on Reddit and then checked for myself out there on NBA.com, right? The Kings have that best starting unit. It's because they have so much talent in De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan. It's a bonus, right? It was almost getting overlooked in these game discussions, but had 15, 14, and 6, right? There's sometimes just not as much of a need of Domantas Sabonis to try to do things that are kind of out of his usual comfort zone. He could just come out there, be the center for this team, facilitate in the mid-post area, and just get to work out there at that center position, make those passes, do the right reads, and get those other timely buckets. But the starting lineup has just been huge, and Kevin Huerter, again, has been a lot better lately. Hit a couple of nice threes in this one, but still 2 of 8 from the 3-point line. Honestly, the 3-point shooting, it is what it is, right? We know Kevin Huerter is going to be that guy on the squad, but even Keegan Murray, right? 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. Again, those shots go down, and that's going to be huge for this team, but everything else, his midi, his slashing, his defense, everything you want, even his facilitating, right? Like 3 assists might not feel like much, but he's just improved in all aspects of this game. Keegan Murray has, and just from the eye test, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse with this, but the starting lineup for the Sacramento Kings is phenomenal, right? The top half of this roster is sick. And then if you include Keon Ellis in this, who needs to be honestly getting more run, who needs to be the rotation. He got 90 minutes tonight, so we're not complaining, we're not stressing, but had 12 points in this one, is bringing the energy on the defensive end. Like, again, the top guys, and obviously Malik Monk, I feel like is an honorary starter, right? Did have the greatest games tonight, didn't knock down his threes, but still at 9 points, had 6 assists. It's going to provide the value on every single night. But the upper echelon guys on this roster are just there, right? Like the Kings team need to invest in this squad. This is not your kind of, 12 through 10th seed out there in the Western Conference, right? They have the upper echelon talent. They've done the hard part. Monte McNair, you've done the hard part. You got the upper tier talent. You got the top guys. And now it's going to be all about rounding out the roster. That's kind of what needs to be done with this team, because I'm a big fan of Trey Lyles, right? I think he's wicked. It's awesome for Team Canada. I'm Canadian, so it's rooting for Trey Lyles here a ton, right? Like 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, but 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. Again, I think he can still be valuable. He's recovering from injury. It is what it is, right? But you need more front court depth. It's just the reality, right? Like, you need more guys you can reliably put out there and say, hey, like, let's give a little breather to Sabonis. Let's give a breather to Murray, because he's doing everything out there on the basketball court, right? And like, especially if the Kings are going to end up having an injury, because every team deals with injuries, and knock on wood that it doesn't happen, but you need to have a bit more depth. So when the Kings, are starting to roll and things come, and then a couple players need to sit out a week or something like that, you're not completely depleted out there on this roster. So, Monte McNair, I think it's urgent. It's the Kings team is good. They've proven that this team is good. This team is solid. This team can run. You get 1 or 2 more reliable bench pieces to add to this squad, add in the mix for this group. Then essentially we see it tonight, right? Like, then things are going to work out. Like, the Kings are going to be able to be in this spot because, again, right? Like, DeMar DeRozan's bailing out, lifesaver right now. De'Aaron Fox is that guy, right? But you're not going to be able to, that's not sustainable basketball. If you have that is huge, that is key. But over the course of an 82-game season, come playoff time and stuff, you need those closers, those star players and stuff. But over the marathon that is the NBA season, especially in the Western Conference, which just seems to get better and better like every single year. Like, even the teams we thought would be bad are actually good now at this point in the West. Like, you need these guys to have reliable backups that can play defense, that can do different stuff. So that's why I was so frustrated when Keon Ellis, a guy that has shown flashes to be that's already in house, to be out there in the mix. But it's there's a lot of guys out there in the market. There's a lot of players out there that the Kings can pick up in the front court. I'll be making more videos in terms of different options for this team. But again, like, the Atlanta Hawks are a solid squad, right? They Nance Jr. got some run in this one, but Trae Young can play. Garrison Matthews is just ridiculous tonight. Kongwu off the bench. Like, they don't have a crazy amount of front court depth, but it is what it is. The Sacramento Kings came out and did their business, worked their business out there. And again, the Kings lost to a ton of these types of teams. These are the types of games the Kings would just end up losing last season. So very, very happy the team was able to get the W out here in this one. So, DeMar DeRozan, I just want to say, is exactly what the Kings needed. Now we just need those roundabout players to really solidify this team as an upper tier championship level team out there at this point. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys want to think this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.